Hello everybody, my name is Chaos and welcome to the chaos of Stalker Clear Sky. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'll be right back. I just have to finish a bit of advertising out the thing. So we'll be back after I send my brush guy tweaked. We're gonna do some stalkers. I've not played any of the original trilogy. I don't have any mod installed, so this is a pure vanilla playthrough. I do hope everybody enjoys. I'm so glad I have two monitors. That makes a lot of this super easy to deal with. Just copy pasting my link everywhere I can. Do 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 do. I've not played the original trilogy before, so I think it'll be fun to play the enhanced edition versions. I posted there. I didn't post here. Didn't post in Who's Discord. You need to post in Cell's Discord. Need to post in the FC. Speaking of which, I really need to try to get Final Fantasy 14 up and running. Can't post there. That is fine. Post on there. There we go. We'll start Stalker difficulty. Novice seemed like too much of an easy mode. I don't know why this is so quiet.
Without going into detail, I must say I have never seen anything like this before. The encephalogram suggests serious damage to the nervous system, but the other indicators couldn't be better. It's astounding.
Perhaps it has something to do with the emission.
Most certainly, although so far I've been utterly unable to formulate a rational explanation for this abnormality.
Look, he's waking up. You're awake. That's good. Welcome back to the world of the living, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. How are you feeling?
My head's splitting and spinning too. Basically, I'm in real good shape.
Do you remember what happened to you?
Okay, I remember leading an expedition through the swamps, bunch of scientists, then the emission. That's it. Where am I? Is this heaven? And why does it look so much like the zone?
In the joking mood, eh? That bodes well for your recovery. I'm Lebedev, the group leader, and I'm responsible for everyone here. That includes you, for as long as you're here. We call ourselves Clear Sky, and you are in our base right now. We picked you up in the swamps after the emission.
Well, I guess I got lucky then.
Lucky? I doubt it. The facts are these. You survived the emission. That's the first thing I still can't explain. The second thing is that our patrol found you in the swamps, which are essentially endless quicksand. And thirdly, you nearly got torn into shreds by a pack of pseudo-dogs. But our boys got you out just in time. Such a chain of events tells me it's more than just luck. Anyway, I need to finish what I'm doing. So let's continue this conversation later.
Alright. The game is way too loud right now. Alright. I'll exit to Windows just so I can reset the game volume. Hey! Oof. And we will go exploring the zone.
Look who we got visiting our swamps. You sure are a whiff of fresh air. Hello, Merc. You became quite a legend while you were out of it. Even you wouldn't believe some of the rumors I've heard. Anyways, here's a drink on the house for a lucky son of a gun. It should help you relax and tell me about your adventures. Because I'm just dying of curiosity.
There's not much to tell. I was leading a group of scientists through the swamps when an emission hit. I remember nothing of that, or I gained my consciousness here. So now you tell me what happened.
Well then, you drink and I'll tell you about this place. It used to be pretty quiet here. We had the paths worked out, the right places explored, and the approach covered. Of course, the swamps ain't exactly spring break material, but it wasn't too bad either. Yeah, it wasn't too bad until the last emission, the biggest we've ever seen. These days our boys pray both to God and the devil before going out of the base. Because getting back alive is a miracle in its own right. But we're managing to hold it together. Because our guys ain't here for loot. They're fighting for a cause.
How did you end up here?
I was collecting bottles one after another and they let me here. I'm kidding, man. Truth is, there was no place for me in that other world. It didn't want me. In the end, I came here. First to the zone, and then to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. The guys here are alright, and I'm needed here. They come back here after a mission, I pour them a drink, tell a few dirty jokes, and my job is done. Simple, but effective. By the way, they call me Cold around here.
About this place, would you give me a clue as to where we are?
In our base. As you can see, it's a small, sinking farmstead in the middle of romantic, endless swamps. I couldn't tell you where it is exactly, but it's the last place in the zone where you can meet real people. Guys who won't screw you, stab you in the back or let you bleed to death to save a med kit.
I'm no stranger to the zone, yet I've never heard about S.T.A.L.K.E.R. How do things work here?
You know why you've never heard of it? Because too many people want to know about it, and the fewer that do, the better. Lebedev is our leader. The man is a rock if ever I've seen one. He's the glue that holds our whole group together. Then there's Binpolev, Professor Binpolev. He's like a walking encyclopedia and a calculator in one. Knows more about the zone than... well, anyway. Our technician's called Gray, and he can make you a rifle out of an empty can with ammo to boot. He could use some spares, but apart from that. And finally, we have Suslov. He's a trader, but he ain't like the others of his trade. He won't try to rip you off or screw you. He knows what stalkers go through to
Leave
get
the
their
Merc
loot,
alone
and
with
he
your dirty
respects
jokes.
that.
I need to see him.
Well, brother, if Lebedev says he needs to see you, that ain't up for a discussion. Go on, I'll catch you later. Well, next time you're at the swamps, don't be a stranger.
Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm gonna get something to drink. Alright. Well, I guess he's downstairs.
Got some fresh air? You look better, that's for sure. Let me fill you in on this situation. You're in the Clear Sky base. Don't try to remember who we are. You've never heard of us, and there's a very good reason for that. Our mission is to research the zone. We believe that the zone must be studied and understood so that humanity knows what it is facing here. Understanding is the key to coexisting with the zone. Because if you think about it, the zone is the most wondrous phenomenon humanity has been confronted with in its entire history.
Why are you hiding?
As I said, we are researchers. We are trying to figure out the nature of the zone, determine the reasons which caused it to appear, and formulate the rules that govern its existence. We are not consumed by a quest for money. We don't seek fields of artifacts, and we're not interested in turf wars with other factions. That is why we're hiding here in the swamps and concentrating on our research. Our forte is not combat, but knowledge. Knowledge of the zone, accumulated over years of research. We know more about it than stalkers and the government combined. And our research was finally shaping up into a sound, coherent picture until the massive emission a few days ago.
What's so peculiar about it? We've had emissions before.
No, that emission was incredibly powerful. It was on a level of its own. It was like a hurricane that swept the whole zone, changing it. Everything is different. The well-known and relatively safe areas have become highly radioactive and full of anomalies. But now, you can access parts of the zone that have been unreachable for years. Even the most hardened stalkers don't know what awaits them on their favorite path. The other thing that changed is people, and that became evident right away. The emission destroyed the fragile balance between factions, and they're now warring for territory. In other words, many strange things have happened, and I don't yet fully understand the scale of these changes. It's only been a few days since the emission. If you ask me, the strangest thing of all is that you managed to survive it.
If I knew how I survived, I'd tell you in a second, but I don't remember anything.
I see. How can I help you?
I better leave. I'm pretty beat up, but I can still walk and hold the gun. How do I get out of here?
Getting out of here isn't easy, not by a long shot. The swamps are a real maze of reeds and radioactive quicksand, swarming with terrible monsters and human scum. And I don't know which is worse. Only a guide can lead you safely out of here. We only have a handful of them. Guys I would trust with my life without a second thought. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Because if I let you go, our presence here might not stay a secret for long.
What are you trying to say?
We are having a very tough time here recently. The emission reduced the number of anomalies in the swamps, which made the area easily accessible for bandits and other vermin. There are so many of them, they'll be setting up camp in our base soon if we don't do something about it. The problem is that we're not really the fighting type, so we've been steadily losing ground. But you, one look at you, tells me you're a pro at that sort of thing.
This is the second outpost.
Your
We're under attack.
experience
I
can
repeat,
save the
we're under
lives
attack.
of many
Help!
of my... That's enough chit-chat. There's been another attack on our outpost. Help us fight it off. If it makes any difference, some of the boys who saved you are there right now. You still remember how to survive in the zone?
I remember bits and pieces.
Great. Get over to the trader and he'll fit you out with some basic equipment. After that, head straight to the outpost. Once you're outside the base, listen to my advice. I'll try to guide you along.
Okay.
Trader, a fighter is on his way here. Issue him with all the... Roger that.
Hello there. At last. Here, take this basic equipment kit. It's designed specifically for patrol missions.
Thanks. Hey, is this always this stressful here?
I've been ordered to issue you some equipment. There's no time for questions. The boys need you now.
I'm gone. Right. Alright. I have... controls. I'm ready. Cool.
Merc, there are anomalies ahead. Be careful. Remember, don't move until you've thrown a bolt in front of you.
Okay, how do I use a bolt? It's... Quick save.
Oh, by the way, you can sometimes find artifacts and anomalies. You can't see them, but detectors spot them easily enough. If you get close enough, your detector will indicate the location of the artifact, and then you just pick it up easy as pie. Keep in mind that your current detector isn't exactly top of the line. It only shows the distance to the artifact.
Run for the tower! The monsters can't get you there! You're right on time, bro. I'm real low on ammo, so let's make the best of it together.
Attention all fighters. An emission is approaching. Get to cover now.
Lebedev, what happened?
You survived the emission again. I'm not even that surprised. Our boys picked you up not far from the tower when things calmed down a bit. You know, Bien Polev was right. You defy scientific explanation. He believes that you acquired some, let's say, unusual abilities, which help you survive anomalous activity that would literally tear anyone else down to atoms. Also, it looks like something is increasing your body's performance in several areas, to the point where our monitoring equipment goes off the scale. Wait. Don't get too excited. There's always a fly in the ointment. Every emission harms your nervous system, and if this continues, you will die.
Do emissions occur this
A
often?
normal emission is the release of energy accumulated in the zone. A discharge, if you like. But what's happening now is completely different. In my opinion, the increasing regularity of these emissions is the zone's response to some sort of serious threat, akin to the response provided by a human immune system. It is difficult to rationally explain coexistence between humans and the zone. The zone tolerates us in some areas and forbids us from going to others. Whatever is beyond the Scorcher and further towards the center of the zone is taboo, a place where stalkers are not supposed to set foot. I think that recent events in the zone are related to the fact that someone broke that taboo and made it past the brain scorcher.
Someone got past the Scorcher? What risk does this pose for the zone?
It's hard to say. To answer that question, I would need to know what's in the center of the zone. Some say the monolith, others say the wish granter. The more unpretentious ones dream about fields of rare artifacts. I was at the power plant myself, a young specialist at the time, but I don't know what's there now. What I can say is that the Scorcher appeared for a reason. It prevents the center of the zone from being reached. People cannot go beyond the brain scorcher.
Is there a real way to pass the Scorcher, or even theoretical chance?
I didn't think so until the large emission. Hell, nobody thought so. However, if you consider the emissions to be a defensive reaction, then the answer is obvious. Someone made it through the Scorcher, and the emission was the zone's response. And since the emissions haven't stopped, whoever it was must still be alive. The zone is trying to get them, and it's killing everything that's alive in the process.
What is the danger of such frequent emissions?
I know a lot about the zone, but I can't share everything with you. You'll just have to trust me on some things. A system, any system, needs to be in equilibrium. The zone is unstable right now, and this instability is increasing. If the constant emissions aren't stopped, the zone will become so unstable that a new disaster will occur. Which brings us to what Clear Sky is doing. We're trying to prevent that disaster.
Prevent the disaster, you're not even strong enough to fight off bandits.
You're right. But we do know how to prevent a disaster and stop the emissions. And that means something.
So what's the plan?
We have to find out who was in the center of the zone and stop them at any price.
Alright?
There's a strange connection between you and the zone. On the one hand, every new emission gradually kills you. On the other hand, you survive in situations where others don't stand a chance. My gut feeling tells me that your abilities, your gift, your curse, call it what you will, they mean you can get through places that others wouldn't even dream of. And at the moment, we need to act very quickly. I knew you'd ask that. The answer is simple. If the emissions aren't stopped, your nervous system will burn out and you'll die. Help us and you'll save yourself. Now this may sound like a line from a corny movie, but you really don't have a choice.
But my options are pretty limited.
Unfortunately, yes. So, will you help us?
Yes.
Then listen carefully. We have made use of all our contacts and connections in the zone. As a result, we know that a certain stalker at the cordon was asking Sidorovich about some very strange components. That's all we have for the moment. But it's a lead.
How do I reach the cordon?
Through the swamps, of course, how else? But remember what I said. After the emission, a whole army of all kinds of scum turned up in the area. Now they control almost everything. We are under siege, and I'm not exaggerating one bit. So before we can help you get to the cordon, we have to regain control of the swamps. And with your help, I think we should be able to do it.
Understood. What's the tactical situation like? In a word, wait a minute, reaching the Great Swamps is easy. Our guides will lead you out, but if you want to actually survive there, you need to learn about the current technical situation, their PDA's new features. So, if you're curious about any of that, just ask. What's the tactical situation like? In a word, shit. Into deep shit. Fighters can hardly hold the Great Swamps, being constantly pushed back by bandits and monsters. The enemy simply outnumbers us. What must be done to gain control of those swamps? Reduce the enemy's numbers, or to put it simply, shoot down as many as possible of those who are shooting at us. If we don't, our fighters will have no chance of securing the swamps. Tell me about my PDA's new features.
Your main guide is the objectives section. Your main objective is displayed here, together with a selected additional objective. There can be several additional objectives which you can cycle through using these buttons. Most objectives are also displayed on the map, with the exception of rare occasions when your objectives cannot be located. We will need your help with not only destroying the enemy, but also capturing key positions. In these situations, our fighters will be grateful if you provide covering fire as they capture a position. By the way, don't ignore calls for help. Our boys' lives could be at stake. Hovering over a mark on the map will display additional information. In addition to your objectives, friendly units and identified enemies will also be displayed on the map. Okay, as I'm sure you understand, our main objective is to establish control over the swamps. And that means a war against the aggressor. This section allows you to access tactical information about combat operations at any time. Information about your current faction is displayed on the left. Right now, that's us. Clear Sky. Information about the main enemy is displayed on the right. This shows our approximate combat strength. This shows how many fighters we have. And this is our equipment supply. Similar indicators are also shown for our enemy. Finally, this field allows you to see the current strategic mission, as well as tactical objectives that must be achieved in order to complete the strategic mission. Completed strategic missions will be displayed at the bottom. The last tab allows you to view your current relations with all factions, as well as each faction's combat strength. Your personal stats are also displayed here. That's pretty much it.
What can you offer me? Discarding his backpack for you. Ooh. How much is that going to set me back? 800. So what's actually in there? No idea. Nah, I'm not in. I don't have that much cash. What are you doing here? See you later.
What you need, Stalker?
Yes.
We're there, so you can take your blindfold off. Don't you try to follow me, it won't work anyway. If you want to come back to the base, find one of the guys at the fishing hamlet.
Merc, it looks like you're at the Great Swamps now. Be extremely careful and don't try to be a hero. Check out your PDA. You should find the location of our squads there. I suggest you get yourself over to the fishing hamlet. That's where they are.
Oh, thank you for the lurk. I'm currently playing the Stalker.
We barely held them off.
Совсем ты понял, кранты?
Ugh.
Merc, it looks like you're at the Great Swamps now. Be extremely careful and don't try to be a hero. Check out your PDA. You should find the location of our squads there. I suggest you get yourself over to the fishing camp. That's where they are.
Hurry up, reload.
We barely held them off.
This is why I bounced off of S.T.A.L.K.E.R the first time.
Merc, it looks like you're at the Great Swamps now. Be extremely careful and don't try to be a hero. Check out your PDA. You should find the location of our squads there. I suggest you get yourself over to the fishing hamlet. That's where they are. We barely held them off.
Ugh.
Merc, it looks like you're at the Great Swamps now. Be extremely careful and don't try to be a hero. Check out your PDA. You should find the location of our squads there. I suggest you get yourself over to the fishing hamlet. That's where they are.
Шухер, пацаны!
We barely held them off. You'll have to find out in the open.
Олень! Я тобі роги повідсипаю, ясно?
Oof.
Я йому зробив! Щас ти у мене кров'яшкою!
All right.
They see us! I repeat, they see us! Хватай! Будеш знати!
Come by our base when you get a minute. We'll return the favor.
Merc, be ready to join the action on your command.
All right. Good.
trust our position in the swamps enough to give the renegades a real good kicking. Our next objective is their main base.
Let's play. Get the grenade!
Enemy slain!
Another attack repelled! Squad, move out! Christ, can't I even enjoy one meal?
Alright, let's quit save and then continue on. PDA is P. Okay. I'm gonna try assaulting this area. I'm gonna go back to this original quick save I had. I didn't waste a whole lot of eating health items on carrying radiation. Alright. I'll be right back and go to the washroom. Cool. I'll quick save. safe before I die. Ooh. I am the winner. And they are the losers. Hold the point until help arrives. Well, I could do that. Oh. Guess I just have to wait here.
Thanks for helping Renegade's lair. Drop by our base sometime. All we need to do now is take control of the paths to the swamps. That's a promise.
Alright, cool. Oof. I'm glad I quick saved before entering this area. Come on!
Managed to recapture their lair. We can't allow those bastards to live right on our doorstep. We need to smoke them out of their base, whatever it takes.
Oof. I have to hold the point, so I have to wait. I'm gonna quick save. While I wait for any kind of help to arrive. I'm gonna loot the houses while I'm here.
swamps are now under our control. Good job, boys. You did it. All squads, dig in at key positions and wait for further instructions.
Stalker, what do you want?
Начальство розумне. Все розібратися не вагається.
Visitor? I'll be right
Oh,
there.
welcome, guest from foreign lands. What come you with? A bursting purse? Prized exotic wonders?
Neither, unfortunately. I got hit by an emission and barely survived. Totally empty now. The emission seemed to have scattered all my goodies all over the swamps.
Yeah, I heard your story. I reckon the main thing is that you're still alive. Stuff is easy enough to replace, as long as the zone is kind to you. So, you gonna trade, or you got some questions for me?
Yeah, even on swamps. In a hush-hush joint think the swamp, there's a place for a trader. What do you know?
That's the sort of people we are. You can't buy an extra 15 minutes of life, or a spare store from death. But us traders are needed everywhere, even in the zone, even in the swamps, and even underground. It's an illusion that the zone is under lock and key, and the army has all the ways in and out sealed. Think about it. Nowadays, artifacts and rare specimens from the zone can be found all over the world. And your fellow stalkers never have a shortage of canned meat, vodka, ammo, or equipment. Somebody's got to be responsible for all that, right? Well, that's where we come in. In this place, it ain't like selling bootleg CDs on the outside with the cops up your ass every damn day. Around here, the situation is very simple. The outside world has an interest in the zone and vice versa. But it's officially forbidden, prohibited, and all that bullshit. That's what we're here for. We make sure all those interests are satisfied and everybody's happy. There's a joke among traders that if someone points a gun at you, your best bet is to try to buy it off them.
To me, that isn't.
Let's not talk about it. You have no idea how tired I am of peddling these trinkets. There's a ton of ordinary artifacts out there, but the best tidbits pass this place by. I haven't had a unique item in my store for ages.
Why the limited selection?
Who knows? Maybe stalkers have already found everything there is to find. Getting behind the Scorcher would be a dream. I heard you can get enough artifacts there to last you a lifetime. Provided your life doesn't end there then. It's about time us traders joined forces and used our connections to find a way of getting past that thing.
We're the only ones looking in that direction.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, listen, I've told you too much as it is. Time is money. So if you want to trade, go ahead. If not, I'll see you around. Good luck to you.
Alright, let's trade.
with us again. Want to trade? Glad to see you.
Yay.
Drop in next time you're in our neck of the woods.
Better armor.
Hello there. Want to trade? Good luck to you.
I see you. Just a minute. Stop by for a chat anytime.
I'm glad to see you, young man. You look considerably better. Oh, I didn't notice you coming.
What happened to me?
You already have a basic understanding of some things, while others will necessitate a more detailed explanation. The inexplicable fact is that twice you were affected by emissions and survived. Clearly, you were not subjected to the peak of these emissions because you most certainly would have been killed. However, it does appear that you are able to survive emission levels that are lethal in others. That is the general outline of what took place. It's true some of your abilities, such as motor skills, reaction and endurance, improve rapidly after the emission. It seems that the emission supplied your body with energy. Conversely, this brief period of strength is followed by a sharp decline in your well-being, the effects of which you are currently experiencing. Finally, I'm going to tell you something you already know. The emissions are destroying your nervous system. If they keep reoccurring, you will die, or what's worse, lose your intelligence and your very self.
Can you stop the destruction of my nervous system?
Regrettably, no. The best I can do for you is to reduce the negative impact of emissions on your body. I am currently concluding a series of tests, and after Lebedev confirms the results, I will be in a position to carry out the necessary procedures. However, I would like to stress once again the fact that this is not a panacea. It will not solve the problem. All you are getting now is a little more time until the point when your nervous system begins to break down.
Can you do anything else for me?
Alas, that is all. The only other thing I can do for you is answer any questions you may have.
I've seen all types of folks in the zone. Some come here chasing their dreams, some in search of the zone's wonders, and some are just looking for loot. Why does S.T.A.L.K.E.R study the zone?
People are mistaken in their belief that they understand the essence of what the zone truly is. Some consider it to be a universal evil, others a wonder sent down to humanity, and others still consider it no more than a source of riches. They are all wrong. The zone is impossible to understand when viewed through the prism of human perception. Moreover, it is far too early for humans to even try. Ergo, the actions of both the government and stalkers with respect to the zone are misguided, and I fear that the potential consequences may be, or indeed are, completely unpredictable. Naturally, this represents a terrible danger.
So what is the zone?
Young man, if only I had the answer to that question. We are studying the zone meticulously in hopes of finding it. The zone appeared as a result of the actions, let's call them misguided human actions, and we are unable to return to the status quo. The zone cannot be destroyed, nor will it disappear of its own accord. We, Clear Sky, believe that there is only one way to reconcile man with the zone. coexistence.
I think the Sheiks know anything about it.
How can I best explain? Let's put it like this. Any complicated system in nature, and that includes the zone, automatically seeks equilibrium in the absence of destabilizing external factors. That was the case here in recent years. The zone was stable and there were no significant deviations from the norm. And now we've seen a gigantic emission that has changed the face of the zone. The system became unstable, distorted, a glitch of sorts. The zone is spewing out emission after emission and pumping itself full of energy with each one, so much so that the readings on my sensors oscillate with unbelievable speed. And unless we find a way of reversing this trend, the result will be a disaster of far greater proportions than the 1986 catastrophe. The most important lesson in all this is that this glitch is not a product of natural causes. This is human handiwork.
We should know whose it is.
That's what we are attempting to find out. Perhaps knowing who disrupted the zone's equilibrium will give us a chance to prevent a disaster. Since man caused this mess in the first place, man may well be the only one able to set it right. In any event, I very much hope that is the case.
In what way exactly? What is the point of the rescue plan?
I fear that question is not one I can answer. I suggest you address it to Lebedev. If that is all, I better get back to my work.
You have my full attention.
Go and get the rest of these caches, but I don't care at the moment.
What you need, Stalker?
Oof.
I haven't seen anyone come from the swamps in a long while. You've come out right next to the army outpost. There's only one thing a stalker can expect from the army, and that's a bullet. So I'd be careful if I were you. I haven't seen anyone come from the swamps in a long while. You've come out right next to the army outpost. There's only one thing a stalker can expect from the army, and that's a bullet. So I'd be careful if I were you.
How am I supposed to get out of here? God damn it.
You got away from the army, you lucky devil. I've got a feeling there's a reason for you being here. Pop in and see me if you're in the area.
God damn it. I'm close.
Lucky devil. I've got a feeling there's a reason for you being here. Pop in and see me if you're in the area.
Aha! Fuck you, Army.
Hi, nice to see you. So, shall we talk business? Hello, Merc. Tell me, what brings you here?
They say a stalker was here recently looking for rare components. You remember him?
I see so many stalkers in here, it's a pain to remember them all. Any reason I should strain my brain for you?
What helped jar your memory?
Now we're talking business. I like that. Well, here's the thing. I've been here for a while. My business is up and running, I get different orders here and there, and people trust me. I have a problem with my last order, and the trouble is the client is very important, and the loot he's after is unique. Everything was going fine. Stalkers would get the loot from inside the zone, and the army boys were supposed to ensure they could get it through the cordon. Well, the two parties started bickering over something, and now the whole place has gone crazy. The result is the Stalkers are fighting the military, and nobody's got a clue where the loot is. And that doesn't suit me at all, because the order needs to be completed. So, help me get the case with the loot, and I'll tell you all about your Stalker and his components. Deal?
Yes, what exactly needs doing?
Visit the Stalkers by the embankment. They've set up some sort of base there, and that's where they're holding the captive military commander, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. I don't care what you do at that base. I don't care if those fruitcakes want to continue playing Robin Hood's merry men. All I want is that case and the loot that's inside it. For starters, try talking to Valerian, the Stalker leader. I'll let them know you're coming on my behalf.
Deal.
Relax. Don't be shy. What brings you here? Bring me that case as soon as you find it.
You've got something to say.
I have a job from Sidorovich. I need to drop by the Stalker base. Got any work? Alright. I'll help out this rookie stalker. Yep.
Don't shoot! Please don't shoot!
Help me! The army's beating up on fellow stalkers! We can't hold them! Hurry! buddy. Now we'll knock him out cold.
Be shy. What brings you here? Don't forget, I still need that case.
We might have a conversation if you hide that way. I'm all ears.
Help, man! The army's beating up on fellow stalkers! Soon! It's gonna be too late! Help us! Whew. It should be easier from here. Help, man! The army's beating up on fellow stalkers! Thanks, buddy. Now we'll knock him out cold!
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
And we've been waiting for you a long time. Go see the
So
leader.
tell me, what's up? Come on, spill the beans. If you got something to say, say it.
Am I going here and through here?
Howdy, Merc. We don't see too much of you at the cordon. What brings you here?
Sidovich.
From Sidorovich, you say? So, you know about the commander too? All right, I'll be straight with you. We used to cooperate with the army. They'd allow us to transport goods safely through the outpost and let us in on some useful information. We paid well for their services. But then we found out that jerk of a commander worked for both sides. He supplied the bandits with our whereabouts. Then he went and sold 2 of our guys as slaves at the garbage. That was the last straw. Yeah, I guess we got a little carried away. Can't figure out what to do now. We're holding the commander hostage, which is a kind of guarantee that the army's not going to bomb our asses back to the Stone Age with their choppers. We can't kill him, but we can't let him go either. The sly son of a bitch knows that we need him alive, and he's not caving in a damn inch. Trouble is, he's the only one who knows where the loot is hidden. If we don't deliver that loot to Sidorovich, he won't do business with us ever again. If we could only make this army bastard play by our rules, it would be a whole different ball game, believe me.
I'm gonna have a chat with the commander. You might crack and tell me whether the case with loot is.
What can I do you for? Nice doing business with an honest stalker.
Got something that needs fixing? If you find some more upgrade parts, get them over here and we'll see what we can do. You wanna upgrade something or patch it up?
What's so interesting, huh? Freaking idiots. What you staring at, ass-face?
Yeah, it's funny seeing a military commander behind bars.
Laugh all you want. If you're here to find out where I hid the case with the loot, you're in for a disappointment. Go back to your beloved zone. My boys are gonna obliterate your pathetic posse soon enough. And as for your ringleader, we will hang him on the bridge so everyone can see what you get for messing with the military.
He's not my boss, I'm a merc.
Really? And how much would you charge for your services? What if I ask you to help out my boys by taking out those snipers at the railroad and back?
Too expensive for a rat like you.
Get lost and stay lost, merc.
So, did you learn anything useful?
He's a stubborn little asshole, doesn't say anything about the case. Instead, he goes on and on about his buddy to save, saying that they won't give up on him and it will definitely come save him.
Of course they'll save him. The rat bastard owes them a whole bunch of dough. He ran their operations on his own and stashed the cash away somewhere. Listen, I've got an idea. The commander's got only 2 men he can count on. They served together at the outpost and he cut them in on the deals, so they'll do whatever they can to get him out. If we dispose of them, the bastard will realize nobody's coming for him. He'll crack, and we'll beat out of him the location of the stash with the loot. We split the money, and Sidorovich gets the case. What do you say?
Got where to find his friends?
I have this feeling we won't have to look for them. Khaletsky's buddies are wandering around here somewhere planning to attack us. A small squad has been spotted at the elevator. Help us destroy them.
Do what I can.
Got something to sell? Come back later, I might get a new shipment.
Alright. I'm going to save the game, and this is where we're going to end the stream for now. So thank you all very much for watching. My name is Zoro Chaos, and I am signing off. Hope you enjoyed your stay, and I'll see you Wednesday with Shadow of Chernobyl.